Plague Dr. Jim. I hope your week has been better than mine. This is a brand new podcast dealing with current events of the last week. Going to be on every Friday, hopefully, and I'm just going to be riffing on things in the news, things in culture that have taken my interest, that I thought amusing, that I will riff on for the amusement of you fine people. It's been a crazy week in Scotland for politics. Humza Yousaf discovered that he couldn't hack his job as the least worst numpty in the SNP and had to resign. It's been crazy. It's been embarrassing, really, to watch him bumblefuck his way through the last year or so. Like the temp that you know you have to fire because they're completely useless, who was only brought in because the last competent worker was found with her fingers in the till. It's just been embarrassing to have him as our leader for this period of time. Oh, I think I'll cozy up to Turkey. That's a good plan. He absolutely has brought this on himself. He knew, or must have known, there was like smoke on the horizon, that they were all coming for him, that a vote of no confidence was going to happen. This was known about. And he still decided, no, I'm just absolutely going to torpedo the Greens and still require their support. That's like throwing your hippie wife out of the house because she keeps on going on about green issues and phoning her up immediately the next day for a potential bonus night. Ripped to the teeth on cheap whiskey.
I know that I said that the carbon targets for 2030 were fucking stupid and we couldn't do anything about it. But can I sleep in my own bed tonight and get a disinterested hand job?
End of final message.
You could be tremendously cynical and say that Humza just set off a tactical nuke in his own cabinet, in his own pocket, because he didn't want the Greens to be able to push through rent controls in Scotland because, well, not playing to stereotypes here, but he may have a few landlord mates that he didn't want to upset. Now, stepping in to the absolute screaming void and clusterfuck left by Humza is John Swinney, a man that clearly doesn't want the job, but has stepped up to the plate because he knows that Kate Forbes is completely unelectable. Scotland, by and large, is quite a progressive country. When Chick-fil-A tries to open up a fried chicken restaurant here, Scotland turns around and goes, "Fried chicken? Yes. Your weird American Christian homophobia. Get to fuck, mate." And they close after a month. Kate Forbes is never going to be electable in that environment. And I almost feel sorry for John Swinney, his hands clasped on his bald skull.
Oh, hi, Lord. I was out. And they dragged me back in to pilot this burning ship. I was going to retire. Only you can stop them, John. That's what they were crying. Why does it have to be me, Lord? Why does it have to be me?
So whilst Kate Forbes was asking her husband permission to be First Minister, that was probably John Swinney's existential nightmare, wrestling with the fact that he doesn't want to do a job that's going to lead to an all-out firestorm of electoral failure, most likely in 2026. By far the weirdest take in the media of the fall and fall, rather than the rise and fall of Humza, came from Sky News Australia. Sky News, didgeridoo, down under, we're totally in Murdoch's pocket down here. I won't do an Australian accent again, I promise. Their basic, insane right-wing take on this was it was somehow JK Rowling's unresolved trauma of her father wanting a boy. and hatefully tweeting from the sidelines is what brought down Humza. Like some Cro-Magnon man with a sling catching a mammoth on the head that's got like 80 spears stuck in its back, as if that's going to do something. I'm sorry, but JK Rowling's Turf Island nonsense was absolutely incidental to all of this. The nub of the political failure we have gone over. But JK is just like all of these transphobes, you know? They have very obvious, very transparent motives for hating trans people. Now, Graham Linehan, I just firmly believe he gets an erection looking at trans women and that scares him. I can imagine Linehan in his goon cave with like 8 full-screen monitors and his laptop going trying to download and stream in real time as every brand new trans porn video is released on the internet, and he's sitting there going, terrible, terrible. I've seen all of these. Is there no fresh outrage for me today, internet? So yeah, I do think the world would be a far better place if JK Rowling just went to therapy and Graham Linehan just admitted his tremendous obsession and thirst for trans cock. The world would be a better place. Everything would be easier. And the real end for Humza came on Friday when he had to go out and say, I am not a lame duck First Minister. If you have to do that, if you have any concept of political nous, or you've just seen Game of Thrones, if you have to come out and say, I am not a lame duck, you are, and you are roasted in hoisin already. You are done to a crisp. It was also tremendously funny to see him almost have to suck up back to Salmond, whose last and final idea for independence is to hold another referendum to give them powers to actually have a binding second referendum. So you cannot do that. You cannot bootstrap your way up like that. It's like taking a firm grip of your own scrotum, jumping up in the air, tugging up hard and expecting to fly. It doesn't work like that, Alex. You're done. You're yesterday's pie muncher. Please fuck off and vacate the stage. The real tragedy, if you do want Scottish independence, is watching so much be cocked up by so few, so much potential just fizzle out to nothing. It's almost like watching Scotland play football. You know, you win against somebody, a wee diddy team, lose to somebody mediocre, and then all you've got to do is beat Brazil 5-2 in the final. Unfortunately, in this case, Brazil is Westminster, who can just turn around and go, no. We would rather keep the airspace over the North Britain and park our nuclear submergible death machines at the end of the Gairloch and get the end of the oil, please. You are going nowhere. Okay, deep breath, changing subjects. We moved from a legitimate form of not quite nationalism, but an independence movement, to an entirely illegitimate wingnuttery of St. George's Day. If you think that this has been in any way legitimate political discourse or in any way legitimate commentary on anything, you are sadly misinformed. There's been people kind of arguments in comment section, the length and the breadths of the echo chambers of Twitter and Facebook, saying things like, it's as important as Eid or New Year. How dare you mock this day? How dare you mock this day when historically we have done precisely fuck all. No celebrations, no customs, no traditions. We have not cared about this for decades at all, but I want it now to be a public holiday because I have had my brain transplanted and my bollocks removed. That has basically been the tone of it, you know. The Gammon bears are having their picnic.
You will debate me. You will. I shall not be ignored. Fascism is a legitimate political discourse. How dare you ignore me? Debate me in the comments. Saint Tommy shall lead us back to 1930s Britain, and this time we shall not fail. We shall not. We shall make Oswald Mosley a saint. St. George's Day shall become St. Oswald's Day, St. Mosley's Day, as it should have been. There will come a time when you cannot say you are English. You will be arrested for saying you are English and attacking the police. What kind of a country is this if you cannot attack the police in a drunken rage on St. George's Day? If you go out to the street today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down to the street today, you'd better go in disguise. For every gammon that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today is the day the gammon bears have their picnic.
Yeah, the microphone's slightly wet after that. That was actually too fun to do. But that literally has just been the state of debate. Angry, misinformed shitwits begging you to give them any sort of attention and take them at all seriously. And to a certain extent, yeah, we should take the consequences of what they are saying seriously. We should make every effort to stop others going down that line by just, as I'm doing, relentlessly mocking these twats and showing, you know, the direction of travel and where you end up if you follow these ideas to their... The whole thing, as they say in America, has been a complete nothing burger. It's been whipped up out of completely nowhere for no reason other than to stir up this nationalist feeling in England. And it's people who aren't Christian cosplaying Christians, you know, putting up Knights Templar and Crusader images and not understanding that St. George was, you know, a Turkish Roman guy from the 3rd century or something. It's fake outrage. It's phony outrage. It's nothing but an attempt to pull you into their weird little rube right-wing orbit. Fuck 'em. Staying with English politics, at the time of recording, the Tories are being literally held in a mating press. If you are unfamiliar with that term, do not Google it at work. But they are being held in a mating press by all of the other parties. There is just a beasting going on at the moment in the local elections. Maybe as things are unfolding, we'll cover that next week. But at the moment, it's just been ha 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 fucker. A bit of international news, bit of international conspiracy theory. You may have noticed that there's been a few whistleblowers from Boeing. Now, Boeing used to make quality aeroplanes and are seemingly now making aeroplanes that fall the fuck out of the sky like a wounded seagull, you know? And yeah, Boeing has noticed potentially that there's a few whistleblowers because 2 of them have died. Just died, you know, after making these accusations against the company that they used to work for. Nothing at all suspicious about that. That's no, nothing weird. It's not as if. I mean, and I'm sure this. I'm absolutely positive that this hasn't happened. That, you know, in a shady back alley, you know, a message has come down from you know, the Boeing board. That hasn't happened. Hasn't happened. I can't see them, you know, going to a hitman and just saying, give him a sudden illness, make it look like an accident. You know, of course. Mind you, you know, if I did have any dirt on Boeing, I would probably be sharing that information anonymously from a burner phone that I bought somewhere in Switzerland in a small rundown town without CCTV cameras. I would then take the precaution of going out into the Alps, into a small alpine pass, and faking my own death. Just, of course, as a precaution, you know. Then walking backwards over the border into Italy, where I will be met by a man who knows me only by the code name Piper. He shall hand me tickets to Milan and a new identity. I will, however, travel to Turin, where a childhood friend will smuggle me back to the UK in the boot of a Fiat 500 with embassy plates. Not, of course, in any way that I am suggesting that Boeing might be offing its previous employees. It's just, those are the kind of precautions I would take. You know, a little fun holiday. The next section, I'm gonna just clown on Elon Musk brutally and his fanboys repeatedly. So if you are one of his fanboys, know that I do not care. Do not comment, do not try and make this into an argument. I literally do not the fuck care. Your opinion is absolutely worthless to me unless it is for me to make fun of. And have I got an absolute banger of a tweet from an Elon fanboy for you. The relentless sycophancy of what I am about to read out is breathtaking. 11:07 a.m., the 2nd of May 2024, from Earth. Amore mio, blue check mark. Oh, blue check mark. Get in the cuck chair immediately. Get in the cuck chair and just throw money at Elon as he humps your hopes and dreams, you damn fool. Amore mio, blue check mark, checks in with this burning missive. Spot on. X is his social sphere, his playground. He gets to mix with the common people, no offense, me included, and do what common people do, which is what we'd normally do down the pub. But who can be bothered leaving the house when I can mix with the same shit stirrers from the comfort of my bedroom? Yeah, there's women down the pub. Women who you will never speak to, you pencil-dicked blue check mark nobody. Continuing. Further, he is invaluable in this debate, as he has the intelligence, brain power, and financial means to hold his own against institutions that were once bigger than God, and which none of us have the power to argue with. The universe has brought him to us all for a very valuable reason. go to Mars. Go to Mars with Elon and have him control your oxygen. There you can discover that the radiation shielding from the brutal hellscape of Mars' surface is inadequate to protect you. Why have I grown an extra nipple? Why am I always so short of breath? Just fuck off to Mars. You know, be Elon's serf. Be Elon's peasant. We have no use for you down here on the blue marble. What the fuck? I really cannot imagine what it is like to be inside the head of these fanboys. It's just unreal to me. I shall buy more Tesla shares. I don't care if it goes down to 1 cent a share. I will buy more Tesla stock even if I have to work at McDonald's. I believe in Elon. Jesus, Elon, let him up for air. Let him breathe. Elon was manifested in the universe for this. He is our protector. He is the savior of free speech. Did he just disengage his jaw like a snake to deep throat Elon's tiny pencil dick even further before posting that? That is just some obscene sycophancy. Oh, your third rocket in a row has become an expensive firework, leaving a debris field instead of being reusable. Masterful gambit, sir. Bravo. Bravo. Yeah, Elon, for being the world's richest man at the moment, is going through a whole just train wreck of events. The last of which has been just the Cybertruck. You can't wash it. You can't put it through a car wash unless you put it in car wash mode, because it's, hydrophobic or something. Every other car you can put through a car wash, but no, you must put me in car wash mode. Otherwise, I shall brick myself and void your warranty. Masterful gambit, sir. Masterful as ever. Bravo. Bravo. Take more of my money. I don't care if it drives me into the path of a juggernaut. Bravo! I don't care if drive assist just crashes me straight into a wall like a dart. Bravo! Bravo! Yeah, apparently we're getting self-driving taxis by August, which will be interesting to see, Driver-free dodgem cars just weaving in and out of traffic. I was going to say that you'd be potentially less racist because you've not got a taxi driver in front of you. But it's Elon. He could be piloting that thing remotely if he gets bored and sitting on an island somewhere like a shit Lex Luthor with the remote controls in his hand, mounting the pavement, mowing down pedestrians, and then just swerving back onto the road, laughing maniacally. Ha ha! The peasants! Ha ha! By far, the funniest thing about the whole Cybertruck for me has not been, the boot that's going to take your finger off. It's not been the bulletproof glass that doesn't work. It's not the fact nobody wants it apart from, rich apocalypse preparing tech bros. It's not been that. It's been the common man has taken to calling it der Wankpanzer, the wank tank, a tank for wankers. So just to summarize, it's been 3 rockets basically exceedingly expensive fireworks. the complete failure of der Wankpanzer, becoming the DeLorean of our times, divorce from his perfect waifu girlfriend that he thought the simulation had made for him, the continuing non-existence of the Hyperloop, driving Tesla stocks into the ground, and tanking ad revenue on Twitter. Am I missing anything? He's never gonna fucking get it to Mars. It's crazy. It's crazy that anybody could buy into his bullshit for so long through so many pump and dump schemes, like so many bad ideas. I'm going to make a tube underground and put a vacuum in it and fire people through it. Yeah, sure you are, Elon. That sounds like a sane idea. Oh, wait, somebody came up with it about 100 years ago, and we didn't do that because it's insanely impractical. It's really difficult to keep like a vacuum tube subterranean like that. It's lunacy. Just lunacy. Fuck off. Drive it over 88 miles per hour and just back to apartheid-era South Africa with you. No, there is one last thing I forgot. This is a post. This is an editing. I completely forgot about the Neuralink. The idea that anybody would let Elon Musk, after that litany of disaster after disaster, after 3 rockets exploding, would let anybody put a chip in their brain. All of the chimps had to be euthanized. They didn't sterilize any of the equipment. It was infection, because that's expensive. And, the guy who lays off employees because he can't understand what they do in less than 5 seconds, will consign this whole lab full of chimps to the grave. It's incredible that project didn't end up like the murders of Rue Morgue. So this is we'll finish here. This is a brand new podcast. This is an experiment for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you want to do that. And also, we are brand new. Please share. Please, anybody you think will like this kind of stuff, just punt it onto them and send them here. I'll be doing more, hopefully next week. I might be doing some history stuff, talking about Edinburgh, talking about Aldreekie, weird characters that have lived in the city. The first one of those is probably going to be the first balloon flight in the UK. The first time anybody fucking flew in the UK was in Edinburgh, over Carlton Hill. And a guy called Tyler did that. Amazing story. Hopefully next time. I'll leave you with some footage of Elon's flamethrower compared to an actual flamethrower over the outro music. I've been Plague Dr. Jim. Hope to see you next time.